These are the 5 reasons of why we are not able to hold eye contact for too long, and it's based on psychology and our human biology. So the first reason is, whenever we look at other people eye, we become self conscious. Okay, our self awareness increases. Like whenever you see in the other people eyes, you become conscious and self aware about yourself more. That, oh, am I wearing good? Oh, am I looking at his eyes perfectly? And like you become self aware that how is that person judging, because you are looking at the eye. So because of that, you can't hold that thing for long, and we just take away our eyes. The second reason is looking away from the eyes helps us think and process the reply. Okay, like when we reduce the visual, it is logically proven and scientifically proven that when we just remove our focus from the visual, then we are able to process our inner thoughts much more easily. Because when you are seeing at the eyes and you are processing your thoughts, two things are going in the same time, and it's very hard for the brain to process both. Okay, so that's why when we have to answer something, we just put our eyes, we just take away the eyes so that we can process and focus on the inner thoughts. Because brain for the brain, this is two tasks of processing the thoughts and seeing the visuals. When we remove ourselves from the visuals, we are able to focus on the inner thoughts very easily. And the third reason is eyes are the important eyes played a very important role in the social signal in our ancient times. So when we didn't had languages, words, so we used to use our eyes for signaling and for communication. Okay, so we used to look like, so we used to do this kind of thing, and we used to use our eyes for communication. And because of that, when we look at other people's eyes, we are not just looking. Our brain is just constantly trying to find out what the eyes are telling, what the intention is, what the feelings are, what the mood is, whether it is coming from a right intention or not, because it's a lot of work for the brain. Because you are not just seeing, you are your brain, you might be thinking that you are just seeing, but your brain is processing all these emotions, feelings, intention of that person. Because eyes were used for the communication when we didn't had languages and words. So that's why when we look at other people's eyes, our brain just constantly do all the work. And we also know that that person, the ancient brain, I'm talking about the ancient brain, the ancient brain also know that the other people, if he looks into my eyes, he can also sense my mood, my feelings, my intention behind it. So because of that, we just shift away our eyes, because we know that that person is capable of picking our moods and emotions and feeling that we are feeling for them. That's why we just take away our eyes. Because the important factor here is to look at this thing, that eyes were used for the communication and social signaling. So when we look at anything, our brain just works continuously. The fourth thing is, continuous eye overloads the brain. Yeah, so this is the reason that I talked about, that whenever we look at other person, we are not able to hold the eye movement. It's because our brain is not just seeing, it's a very heavy load for the brain, because he is constantly trying to judge its mood, intention and everything. And because of that, we are not able to, we don't hold all this thing, we just put our eyes off. And we also know that that person is also capable of picking our moods, intention. So we fear that thing, and we just take away our eyes. The fifth thing is threat detection system. Okay, during like if we just stare any person for too long, then the brain, then if any person just stares us for too long, then the brain becomes very active and it gets into the defensive mood. The defense mechanism increases because when in the ancient time, whenever any person tried to look at us, our face, for too long, that means because of the superiority, because of angry, because competition, because of jealousy or because of challenge. So that's the reason.